Welcome to Uncaged Zootours. If you are new to the channel and love animals, I recommend and appreciate hitting the like and subscribe buttons and the bell icon to join me on my tours. Welcome back to the hemisphere's largest aquarium. The last time we were here, we took a quick look at the Dolphin Coast, and our fourth tour is one of the coldest sections in the aquarium. Cold Water Quest opened with most of the aquarium in 2005, showcasing special animals from the ends of the earth and other places where the water is freezing cold. Brr. Let's begin. Don't forget to dress up warm, my friends. Our first tank showcases the kelp forest of California.
I thought it was warm in California.
Yes, it is, but not in these parts. With this plastic kelp are swell sharks, sheep's heads, half moons, and a few others. But the star of this tank is the Garibaldi damselfish, the inspiration for the Georgia Aquarium's mascot, Depot. Unlike most fish, the Garibaldi lives alone instead of in schools. But during the mating season, the male Garibaldi will make a nest and will do his best to impress the girl. If the female Garibaldi wants to stay, she lays eggs. The male Garibaldi has to protect the eggs on his own because the female will eat the eggs if he isn't careful. On the other side of this tank is a display showcasing tide pools. No pun intended. The literal stars of the tide are bat stars and orca sea stars. Sea stars belong to a group of animals called echinoderms, which I previously talked about in episode 6. Sea stars are famous for regeneration. Whenever a predator attacks the sea star, it can get rid of one of its limbs and grow a new one. Sometimes, the arm can produce a new sea star. Even though some sea stars have 5 arms, other species can have up to 40 arms. Unlike most animals, sea stars don't have a brain or blood. They just use filtered salt water to pump nutrients through their nervous system. I'll return to Patrick Starr's extended family in a few minutes. The next tank takes us to Japan's dark and cold waters, where we'll meet someone who's really crabby. I've got to stop with these ocean-themed puns. The Japanese spider crab is one of the world's largest arthropods, a group of invertebrates that also contains spiders, bees, shrimps, and mantises. They can be found at 164 to even 1,640 feet below sea level. To survive down there, Japanese spider crabs like to play dress-up. They belong to a group of crabs called decorator crabs. Japanese spider crabs put sponges, plants, or anemones on their shells and use them as camouflage against predators. Like the Seastar, a spider crab's limb can get torn off by fishing nets or predators. And yes, the limb will grow back. And now, my friends, we're in the Central Plaza. You might see this whale skeleton, but there are also some real whales. Representing the Arctic Ocean are the beluga whales. Unlike dolphins, beluga whales don't have a dorsal fin, as having a dorsal fin would cause heat loss and make them vulnerable to predators. Even without the dorsal fin, beluga whales are very agile. Their vertebrae, or backbones, aren't fused, meaning that the beluga can nod, turn their heads from side to side, hunt for food in shallow waters, and even escape predators. I can't tell if they're saying yes or no. Speaking of communication, beluga whales are known as sea canaries because of their vocalizations, which consist of whistles, clicks, chirps, groans, trills, buzzes, and roars. Like parrots, they can mimic sounds, which can help improve their colorful vocabulary. And if beluga whales could speak English, they would marvel at us looking at them. But the whales also live with harbor seals, Like I said in episode 33, seals don't have legs to help them walk on land. Instead, they move on land with a caterpillar-like motion. Also from the chilly waters of California is the southern sea otter. Sea otters are famous for floating on their backs. Sometimes they can entangle themselves in seaweed to avoid floating away from their friends. But sea otters also have the thickest fur of any mammal, and their fur traps air, which makes the otter float. Sea otters also use rocks to crack open a crab's shell while balancing the crustacean on its belly. They can also spend their entire lives at sea. However, sea otters are endangered because some people can accidentally dump their oil into their homes, causing pollution. Okay, now it's time to pay another visit to Patrick Starr's family. There are more bat stars and pink sea stars. There are over 2,000 species of sea stars, and many of them have tiny tube feet on their arms called podia. Each podia can smell, taste, and touch. And I wonder why Patrick Starr doesn't have that in his design. I heard that. Wait a minute. Sea stars don't have ears. Anyways, this Seastar family reunion also has a few visitors. There's some rockfish and a giant Pacific octopus. Octopi are very intelligent, as they can solve mazes and even unscrew jars with food inside. They can't play the clarinet, but like that grouchy Squidward, octopi prefer to live alone. And when a predator bites off an octopus's arm, it will grow back in a few months. Wow, everyone is doing regeneration today. Next door are weedy sea dragons, the seahorse's cousin. Unlike seahorses, weedy sea dragons don't have a prehensile tail, but like them, they have an aardvark-like snout that helps suck up prey like a straw. In addition, their leaf-like fins and frilly appendages help them camouflage into seaweed and grass beds. Despite being threatened by pollution, the IUCN lists the weedy sea dragon as least concern. Next door are pot-bellied seahorses, and they are always a treat to see at any aquarium. Maybe it's because of their cool prehensile tail, but I'm not sure. The next tank features sand dollars, which don't make people rich, but are related to sea stars. Our next stop showcases an Arctic shoreline, home to common murres, pigeon guillemots, tufted puffins, and horned puffins. Some people mistake them for penguins, but I can't blame my friends. For more details about ulcids, refer to my Cypress Swamp and Rocky Coast tour to learn more about puffins. But seeing these sassy birds on my tours is always a treat, especially the tufted puffin. That hairstyle is cool, but their genus is even more interesting. Their genus name, Fratercula, means little brother in Latin, referring to the bird's feathers that look like a monk's robe. Our last stop takes us down to the beaches of South Africa, featuring a rookery of African penguins. I've never been to South Africa, but I heard the ocean surrounding the area can be really cold. Either way, penguins are always fun to see. These penguins are sometimes called donkey penguins because their calls sound like braying donkeys. I wish there was a button to press so I can showcase, but just like Nashville's Meerkat exhibit, you can see the penguins from this view. It looks like you're in the exhibit with the penguins. Excuse me, can you please stop giving me the death stare? And no two penguins have the same spotted plumage.
It reminds me of zebra stripes.
Now that you think about it, it does. Whenever a penguin molts, it can be a jarring experience for the bird because it can't eat. Besides, their new feathers aren't waterproof. But don't worry, my friends, the penguins can start eating again once their new feathers are in. And that ends another fun yet epic adventure at the Georgia Aquarium. But we still aren't done exploring the hemisphere's largest aquarium yet. Next time we visit the Georgia Aquarium, we'll visit the warm and calm atmosphere of Tropical Diver, where we'll see the return of the moray eel, relaxing jellies, and the best part, one of the greatest living reefs in the world. So today's question is, what are your favorite ocean animals and why? As always, thank you for subscribing and thank you for watching.